Your grandma is addicted to drugs. Now, before you think that's an outlandish statement or that I'm drawing to conclusions, hear me out. A few weeks ago, you got a call in the afternoon. Your grandma had fallen and broken her hip. She went into emergency surgery and she's gonna be okay. Unfortunately, in the short amount of time that she's been on prescription opioids prescribed legally by her physician, she's created an addiction or a dependence towards them. These addictions can happen to anyone. Today, I want to address you as a public health major with someone who's very interested in the opioid epidemic in Utah. I want to talk about what opioid addictions really are, why the geriatric population in particular are so susceptible to these addictions, and how you can play an active role in helping the elderly and those that you love free themselves of such addictions. What are opioids? Today I'm going to talk about prescription opioids, which are legal medications prescribed by physicians that treat both acute and chronic pain. The Utah Department of Health states examples of these opioids as methadone, hydrocodone, oxycodone, and morphine. All common drugs that we've heard of before and maybe some of us have used for pain before. Now, an addiction is not taking these medications. An addiction is when your body creates a dependence on these substances that you can't function without them, or that your use extends beyond the pain relief that you seek. The Utah Department of Public Health has cited Utah's opioid situation as an epidemic, and the geriatric population is included in that. I'm going to pass out a handout at the end of my speech, attached in the link, with some surprising and disturbing facts about why Utah is in the midst of this epidemic in the geriatric population. So why are the geriatric population or the elderly so susceptible? Often we think of young people when we think of addictions to drugs particularly. Well, the Journal of Gerontology Series A, Biological and Medical Sciences, stated that the percent of adults over age 65 that rely on 5 or more prescription medications daily has tripled between 2010 and 2015. It rose from 12.8% of adults over 65 needing 5 plus prescriptions a day to 39%. Why is this? Well, it's no surprise. Elderly people are more susceptible to injury. They're more prone to disease or illness, and often they fall and they can't get up. The CDC also states that elderly people have less of an ability to metabolize medications, and this can lead to an addiction. So all of these statements are terrifying in the least. What can we do as younger people to help this issue that's growing amongst the geriatric population? Today I submit that you can watch and know the signs of abuse. You can reduce the exposure that you yourself have in your own home, and you can play an active role in spreading awareness via social media, because often these geriatric populations are now found on platforms such as Facebook. The Addiction Center, an online resource that is super helpful with addictions of any nature, states that geriatric populations in particular manifest symptoms of opioid abuse such as memory loss, poor hygiene, a lack of interest in friends or family that they used to have, changes in their sleeping and eating habits, and a desire to be alone. Do you recognize any of those symptoms in your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, or even your parents? One thing that you can do is reducing exposure in your home. Say you're a college athlete, you just tore your ACL. You have some hydrocodone that you are no longer using, but it's in your cabinet. Dispose of that. Most pharmacies have a local drop box that you can drop off your medications in a safe, discreet way. If you are still using medications, make sure that they're safe and private for your use only. This is so important. The CDC states that from 2010 to 2015, overdose deaths due to opioids have almost doubled. At the rate we're at, we really need to help. Another thing that you can do is share social media content that provides helpful links towards the geriatric population. I've attached one below. You can use this hashtag opt out of opioids or stopioid abuse to spread the word. A lot of these elderly people that we love are on Facebook and can benefit greatly from this information. Remember, anyone, anywhere is susceptible to an opioid addiction, not just the youth. Create an open dialogue with those you love. Reduce exposure in your home. Share social media content that is meaningful. Do it this week. And remember, your grandma may have always been there for you growing up, maybe with warm milk and cookies after you came home from school. What are you going to do for her if she needs your help today?